You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
In the high school preview number 14 this time with Seneca and Coach Hostler. What's going on, Coach?
How's it going, guys? I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, no doubt. We appreciate having you on as well. Me and Sam will kind of flip back and forth here, but let's kind of start out here and talk about last year. Some memories, some things you learned along the way.
Oh yeah, no, we had a great season last year. We faced a little bit of adversity there early on. We went a week where we lost 3 games and didn't score a run, so that was definitely a tough time. We played Crescent twice, and we played Pattersville. Both of them are great baseball teams, but I really think that was kind of the turning point to our season. Because we really bounced back well. I'm really proud of how we responded to that. We ended up winning 8 of our next 10 games. We started really doing well, executing offensively, and we pitched well and played good defense. So we ended up second in the region. Crescent ended up winning that region, and we got placed in a very tough district. We had Blue Ridge and Pattersville and Emerald. We didn't run into Emerald, but we had our first game was against Pattersville. Obviously a great baseball team, very well coached with Coach Pageant. But we ended up winning that one and had to go to Blue Ridge, play a very, very good baseball team, lots of talent top to bottom. And I know they're going to be good again this year. So, but very, very well coached over there with Coach Henson. So it was definitely a tough task for us, but we came out on top. Carson Bay did a great job on the mound for us, ended up going into the 7th inning, and a sophomore at the time, Luke McGuffin, came in and shut the door for us and got the save. But, that game was definitely memorable for us because we had a lot of young guys that stepped up. Joey McGovern, as I know you guys know him, but he had a big home run for us. And Cooper Henderson played really well. He had a couple big hits and made some big plays. But, I was really proud of the guys that game, going to Blue Ridge, playing a team like that in an atmosphere that they have over there. I was just really proud of how we handled that. And Blue Ridge had to come to us and for the district championship, and they beat us the first time. They beat McGovern, and but Luke McGuffin and Tyler Bassey, they kind of stepped up there and gave 2, and Joey had another home run. So we were able to win the district championship, and that was an experience that we're never going to forget. That was a great time for all of us. But then we went on to the upper state, and we played BHP a couple times, another great baseball team, and we were able to beat them. And obviously we fell short against Clinton in the upper state championship. And it definitely stings to lose in the upper state championship, especially the way that we did. It was a very close game till the 5th, and we kind of ran out of gas and the wheels fell off and ended up being pretty one-sided. But it's definitely something I'm still very proud of the boys. We we did something that only 4 teams in the history of Seneca baseball did, and that was play for an upper state championship. So definitely not something to be disappointed in. And I do think at the end of the day, I think it was a positive thing for us in the sense that these guys that are coming back, they're hungry. They're working really hard, and they're working like they have something to prove this year. So, I'm really excited to see what they can do.
Now, speaking on top of that, some guys coming back. Let's talk about some returners. You guys, obviously talked about a few guys that have moved on from the program that I think Coach Stewie has watched pitch 754 times over his high school career. Right. But let's talk about some returners you got that you're fired up to have.
Right. Yeah. We only lost 4 guys. Now, granted, those 4 guys were important pieces to the team, but we have Joey McGovern coming back. He's a junior now. He's probably the best offensive player that I've ever coached. It helps when you're consistently hitting balls with triple-digit exit velocities. But he's doing really well. I think he's going to have a great season. And Carson Bay, another former all-region player, he's a senior now, and he pitched really well for us and pitched in some big games. And he had one of the highest batting averages on the team last year, led the team in stolen bases. Great defensive player. So I expect some good things from him. And another all-region player, Cade Scruggs. He's a great athlete, very fast, batted over 400 last year. So I expect him to have a good season again this year. And one guy that we're definitely going to miss next year, he's a senior. He we're definitely going to miss his baseball talent, but some of the intangibles that he brings to the table is what we're going to miss the most, and that's Cody Long. He's a great leader for us. We nominate captains each year. We let the boys nominate him, and he was the only non-senior that was chosen as a captain last year. And just the energy and the enthusiasm that he brings to the table every day, whether we're on the field or in the weight room, we're definitely going to miss that. But he's swinging it well. He's playing really good defense, so I expect good things from him. And Raphael Little, another great athlete. Unfortunately, he got hurt for us last year about 3/4 of the way through the season. But, when he got hurt, he was batting about 300. And, he's the fastest guy we have on the team. And so he's obviously going to add some pressure on the defenses when he gets on base. But, we have a lot of guys, which is a good thing. Kane Hawk, Colton Hawk, Cooper Henderson, which we talked about a little bit ago. He was kind of a utility guy last year, but he's looking really good at second. And Luke McGuffin, Tyler Vassey, pitching wise. But I guess the problem we're going to have this year is we have about 12 or 13 athletes and baseball players that we need to find a role for. And it's not really a problem. It's a good thing to have, but it's definitely going to make it tough for us as coaches to write a lineup. And, I think our quality of depth this year is something that I'm most excited about.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, you have some newcomers kind of step up throughout the year, and you alluded to Vassey as he stepped up for you big time at the end of the year. What kind of newcomers do you expect this year to make a big impact, whether it's beginning of the season or deep into the playoffs?
Right. Yeah. So last season, the lineup we started with was very different than the lineup we ended the season with. So that pretty much happens every year. So I expect something kind of similar to happen this year. But Cullen McGee, he's a sophomore. He's a middle infielder and a pitcher. He threw some midweek games for us last year. I think he has a lot of potential. Zion Prater, he's an outfitter, a phenomenal athlete. So I think he can help us out this year. And Grant Duval, he can pitch and play third base. So we have some guys. And like you said, Tyler Vassey, I think he's going to have a great year this year. So I'm really excited about the potential we could have this year.
No doubt. And speaking on top of that, right, kind of you've done a great job leading in and setting up these next questions for us right here. What are some expectations to get in this club? Obviously, you talked about last year making the run and doing that thing, and a lot of some good returners mixed in with some new guys. What kind of expectations you got for your club?
Right. Now we don't talk a whole lot about expectations. I mean, we know that the expectations for Seneca High School is pretty high. I mean, here over the last 5, 6, 7 years, we've been pretty good, and we know that outsiders are going to have high expectations for us, and that's something we want to have. If we ever have low expectations, then we're doing something wrong, and we're in a situation we don't want to be in. But as far as the expectations that we have within the program, we don't really talk about winning championships or sweeping series or anything like that. We just kind of try to focus on what we can do each day to make ourselves better individually and ultimately make ourselves better for the team. But one thing we talked about last year, and we're going to continue talking about this year, is our expectation is greatness, and greatness looks different to different people, and it looks different in different situations. But we try to be great. First and foremost with our family. We want to be the greatest son and brother and grandson that we can be, because at the end of the day, our family was the first team we've ever been on. It's going to be the last team that we'll ever be on. So, they're always the priority, and we want to be great in the community. We don't need to be going out doing things that are unbecoming and doing things that we shouldn't be doing. And we want to build meaningful relationships with our peers and represent Seneca High School in a good way, in a positive light. We want to be great in school. Obviously for eligibility reasons, but, if you have any kind of goals or aspirations to play college baseball, then, we got to make sure we're taking care of business in the classroom. And then lastly, we want to be great on the baseball field. And we put baseball last because ultimately in the hierarchy of those things, baseball is the least important. But if we don't take care of business in those first three things, we're not going to be able to have the opportunity to be great on the baseball field. So, we're, as far as our goals this year, our goals are the same goals as everybody else in the state. We don't need to talk about it. We don't even need to say it, but that's what we're coming for this year. So I'm just excited to be a part of this program, and I'm looking forward to this season.
Obviously, those expectations have panned out for you over the years. But the last question here, as far as your schedule, looking forward to it, what's the biggest game to you on that schedule, whether it be tournaments or just a singular game?
Yeah, I think I know the one that all the boys are looking forward to the most this year is that Crescent series. They swept us last year, and they're a great team, very well coached with Coach Carson over there. So they're returning their 2 dudes. They got Roberts and Linker for another year. So I expect that to be that's going to be a great series, and we definitely are. We're preparing for that one, and I'm excited about that. And obviously, the Daniel series, just with them being our school rival, they're always fun to play, and then our in-county schools, Coach Cummings and Walhalla and Coach Grooms at West Oak. Those are always fun games, just partially because of the proximity we are to each other. But they're great coaches, and they're always good games. But non-region wise, we open up with Pattersville. Then we have Fountain Inn. We have Wren a couple times. We're playing Spartanburg this year. Jesse Dyer's an old friend of mine, so he's coming to town, and we know they have some great baseball players over there, so that's going to be a fun one. And Raymond Gap's always a team we play each year, and for lack of a better way to put it, they're basically a dang minor league team, a whole bunch of talent, and we played them twice last year. I don't think we saw an arm under 88, so that's definitely a good team to play, especially near the end of the season with hopes of going to playoffs and everything. Kind of prepares us for some of the arms we'll see, because there's a lot of great teams in the upper state, a lot of great teams in the state, and Lord knows there's a bunch of good coaches. So, but yeah, we got a tough schedule, but we're excited to get out there and compete, and hopefully try to run it back and have some more success.
No doubt. Obviously, like you said, you get that tougher schedule and get some chance to play some out of region teams to help you prepare, because you got a tough region, you got a tough area up there, so
Right.
get you rolling. I think one of our expectations maybe get somebody else up there with PBR to watch some Seneca play instead of Coach Stewie up there, because sometimes we gotta leave our home a little bit, and not just stay in the friendly confines.
I think the issue, he lives so far away. It's so difficult for him to get to Seneca. It takes so much time, man.
Yeah, I don't know how the gas prices these days. I don't know how he's doing it. So, but
he could walk. I mean, it's probably only about a 10-minute walk. So
yeah, it's not far a walk. So we'll just do that next time.
Yep. And it's amazing. He always asks me for me to reimburse his gas on that trip. I don't get it. I look it up, and what he's sending me is a little bit different. So it doesn't make a little sense to me. But Coach, we definitely appreciate you hopping on and talking some baseball. I know. As it fall's winding down, we're getting ready to get fired up and get ready to the baseball season here right around the corner. So we appreciate you coming on, and we wish you guys nothing but the best of luck this spring.
Well, thank you very much. And I appreciate all you guys do for high school baseball in the state. I know our boys love it. So Seneca definitely appreciate you guys.